All right, we're back in here live. We're back live. All right. So I just installed this countercade, this mystery countercade mod, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This is for my brother. He uh he this Mortal Kombat countercade. It just happened to be perfect timing. He had it delivered to my house, and so we talked about this mystery countercade hack or mod on the Super Game Room Dudes show on Friday, and so I got the opportunity to do this for his cabinet. So we had a few people on when I was on my phone. Uh, that was more. I'm going to make that one private and and just share that with my brother. But I just want to talk about this in general. You're not going to really be able to get to see the screen too well on here at all. But the interface is pretty simple. Uh, and I just want to share my thoughts about it. The the system is very simple to install. Uh, you just need a screwdriver to take off the back panel on your countercade. You need to have a USB drive that you can put your ROMs on. Now this countercade is hooked up to a plug, so that's something I normally don't have on mine. So in order to get power, I have to be connected, and so that kind of limits what I can do and how I can show this thing here. Uh, but the cabinet, I put a small, and this cord is just so. I'm just going to unplug this for a minute so we can get this around. So I went with the low profile. You almost can't even see this thing here. Just a little nub there, the USB. Because I've seen a few people online doing the full size USB stick, uh, and that just protrudes too far out. You would damage that thing pretty quickly. And so this one, you can barely even see this little USB, and so it'll limit the possibility of damaging that. So I'm probably gonna do a video on showing the installation, but there's already one out there, so I may or may not. But I did want to talk about it. So this Mortal Kombat countercade is the first time I've seen a countercade with two player, and it's actually pretty decent, pretty solid. I think they did a really good job of this countercade. I'm just going to pull off this USB. So you see here, this is just how tiny this is, and that works great. So if you take that out and then turn on this cabinet again, plug it up, then it'll just boot right back into your normal configuration. But they did a really good job with this countercade as far as the menu, maneuvering it. I'm pretty impressed. So it has Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, and Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, and it's really well done. You can see from the side very well. Got your game selection. You can actually do game settings and change difficulties and whether demo sounds on or scan lines are on and all those type of things. I don't want it to be hard. Make this very easy. Turn on these scan lines, and we'll just save that. and we'll launch that game. If I go start button. Okay. So again, this is not a real demo of it. It's just my overall impressions of this cabinet, this countercade. Um, you know, I do want to say, having to have this plug on here, all of my countercades I've equipped it with a battery, and I think this definitely needs to have a battery because you have a hard time finding a place to be able to sit this up where two people can actually sit comfortably and play, and then you have to search for a plug in that area as well. So if any countercade needs a battery, would be this two-player. Uh, Again, this is my brother's. I'm gonna talk to him about it. He may want to add a want me to add a battery to it, but we'll see. All right, so we got free play. Pick a player. I mean, the graphics look awesome. I'm not a big fan of Mortal Kombat. I just never could get the combos together. The button layout. I mean, I could play it. I wouldn't be able to play a human being that knows how to play it in any capacity. I can possibly win against a computer, but not against a person that knows how to play this thing at all. Having trouble, and this is very, very easy. Knock her to the next universe. All right, so I won that time. What up, Rim? Chat, hello. I just ordered the Marvel countercade because of this mod. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool and pretty darn easy to do. If you watch the P Dubs or what was the other one? The other one was by Overthinking Gaming. Overthink Gaming. They have really good tutorials on how to do it. It's so simple. You don't need to really have a whole lot of skill set. Just be able to take this back off, plug in a USB cable, put the USB drive in, and the hardest thing is having ROMs, like any type of thing, right? You need to have ROMs. Let me get back over here. You need to have ROMs. It is simple. And now, of course, it'd be nice, better if you put this thing in and be able to have the graphics and the cover art and things like that. That would make it a much more better, but much better. But who can complain, right? You get to add all these games on here, and if this was mine, I wouldn't have vertical on it. I would reduce the list down to just a handful of games that I would enjoy. I definitely would have Joust on here and games like that. Not sure why this volume's not working. Hey man, it said somebody had to push. Let me just hit the menu here. I can go to sound. Just turn that sound off. Okay, just turn the music off for a minute here. But I added a couple of PlayStation games. I added a couple of Nintendo games, and you said you got a 256 gig. I think this is 32 gig, and I have just about every game on there. And I don't have Dreamcast. I don't have all these console games like that. So if you want every possible system, obviously the 256 would be perfect. I'm hoping I can map out both sticks for Robotron. I think it could be done. That would be fantastic. That's one of my favorite games as well. Let's see if I got Robotron on here. I don't have this map. I didn't have to map this at all. It just mapped itself So let's just go to main. Let's see if I'm looking at favorites. I am not. And I know you can scroll. So it's got this little keyboard. So I'll see if I can type in Robotron. See if I can get away with just typing in partial gain. Nope. Let me just scroll down here to the R's. C's. Come on. There's the letters. Bam. L. Let up too soon. Okay. R S. So I went too far. All right, here we go. R O B. Don't look like I have. It doesn't look like I have Robotron on mine. Again, this is a build I had from a different system, so it doesn't look like I have it, unless it has something in front of Robotron. I'm not seeing it. Okay. I have some Pi and Mr. Build's going to use the same set I use everywhere on lots of Sega. Okay. Let's see. But for the games that I've played on it so far, it works like anything else. Let me just go to, say, I got the Mortal Kombat 4 on here. One of my favorites is Joust. Pretty simple game. This is a horizontal game. My brother's really bugging me to get this to him, so I may just give it to him. I would rather give it to him in a way that is he don't have to bug and call me about anything. And so that's why I really started the video earlier. I went live just to show him how to change on the vertical games. So let's put the credit in, start the game. And you just have to figure out which buttons are going to work for what. Catch it in the air. This is awesome. Uh-oh. Catch it in the air, come on. It bounced. No, I haven't put in Dreamcast, but Nostalgia said it shouldn't have any problem playing Dreamcast. So Nostalgia's like 60.39% right all the time, right? So I've never had any Dreamcast games. I think I tried like Soul Calibur, but it was like the controls were backwards or something, and I just never had enough interest to poke around with it too much. Exit that game just to reduce the sound. But the Tekken ran really sluggish, where Tekken doesn't run sluggish on my original Street Fighter mod with the Pi. So there's clearly some issues, and if Tekken 3 is running sluggish on this, and it didn't on the Pi 3, I think you needed a Pi 4 for some of those games to work better on. So it seems like this will be a little less powerful than even the Pi 3. That's my guess without doing a real extensive look at it. I'm going to say it doesn't look like the Dreamcast, but there may be some settings you have to put in. I don't know. But Tekken 3 runs with a drag in the speech and the movement, where that didn't happen on my Pi 3. Let's see. So I put verticals on here. Now, Realm, would you put the vertical games on it, or will you keep it all landscape games? Just curious. Because like these Frogger and things like that, they run and see. Okay, see, it didn't even save, so I would have to make sure I'm saving this display change. Let's try that again. I want to back up, quick menu, nope, back up, settings, video, scaling, back up, where's scaling? I want to go to scaling, change the aspect ratio to 1:1. Then I need to back up. There's a save option here somewhere. That's not, is it saving? What up, Dr. Funk? I mean, it's a standard size. You said, can I put your comment up here? Let's see. There we go. Says that looks smaller than I thought. I mean, it's the standard size um, countercade, just with a wider control panel. But I mean, these things are really decent size. You know. But I forget how you save the changes. I hadn't modded something so long. So I want to back up configuration file, right? Save current configuration. Back up. All right, so I'm going to back up out of this game and see if it saves it. And I don't know if it saves it because I turned off the system. So I'm going to turn the system off and see if Frogger saves the settings, because my brother's going to drive me crazy if he calls me every time he launches a vertical game. I mean, this box is way bigger than, obviously wider because of the control panel. But it's way wider and bigger than the normal one. But this is, now I haven't played with two people in here. Obviously, they'll have to be off to the side, but it's doable. It's playable. Let's see if I go to my favorites. And I want to go to Frogger, see if Frogger saved that video display settings. Because I'd rather ask my brother which games he really like playing and set those up for him so he doesn't bug me. What up, MNC Game Room? Just across the border from Detroit here is Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Well, now here is it's not just the black bars. It's cutting off the screens on the bottom, top of the bottom. So we put a credit in here. Start. Yep. See here. So it didn't save it. So you see here, you can't even see Frogger. He's down off the screen, and even the top is off the screen, which I think is the score. So I got to remember how to save this. I can back up here to settings and change this to video, scaling, aspect ratio, go down to 1:1, and now my score. Go back to quick menu, resume. So now I can see the score and I can see Frogger down here on the ground. But I have to remember how to save this. Overrides, no. Oh, yes. Okay. So save core overrides. There you go. Or I can save game overrides. And it says it was successful. Back up out of here, resume. Turn this thing off, turn back on, and Frogger should be saved now. Didn't you once play NBA Hang Time? I did. I haven't played it. Now, I have the NBA Jam, which is actually for my grandsons who live in Canada, but they had the border shut down for so long. I have not been over there yet, and I need to get over there and get the cabinet to them. But I did play that. Been looking for new players to play. No one would play me. Well, maybe we can get on after this and try playing some hang time. I suck at those games. Those aren't my best. My best games are the vertical games, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, those things. Those are what I really enjoy playing. Galaga, and those games. All right, so let's see if this saved this. So I'm going to go to my favorites and go to Frogger and see if this display it works. And let's see. It looks like it saved it. If I put a coin in, it did not. Oh my goodness! If you have to save this every time, this would be ridiculous. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the Lions suck, but you can't help but be a fan here. Back up. Why this is not saving is crazy. All right. Back up. Back up. Back up. Quick menu. Options. Oh boy. I gotta look at the video just to see where I went last time. Cheats overrides. Okay. So save core overrides. Let's try that. I did game overrides. That didn't do it. Now let's see if that jacked up, say like a. So now I can see the high score and thing. Will that jack up, say joust, the way it displays? If I say core override, because the core would be all of the main games, I would think, right? Oh, I got you. I got you. That I think you're right there. Yep. And it looked like it might have jacked this up. So let's. Oh, I'm sorry. Hit start button. Credit. Oh, we gotta wait. Joust. Yeah, it looks like it changed this. It did. So I don't want to do the core because that jacks up everything. All right, so let's put that back. So we back up. We go to settings, video, scaling. And we don't want it to be 1:1. We want it to be 4:3 for this game. So I am going to back up. So I'm going to save this information. What was that? Quick menu. Wow, it was poor memory. Don't override. There we go. So I'm going to save core to save this so that is back the way it should be. So all the horizontal games are correct. Then I'm going to back up, exit this game. So that's back to normal. I exit out. I go to Frogger. I'm going to put that right. Save when exit also. Okay. Now I said configuration overrides was definitely doing something, but that's the old way. So I'm going to change it for this one. I'm going to go to backup, settings, video, scaling, aspect ratio, 1:1, backup, 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 quick menu, overrides, save, game overrides. All right, and now I need to back out, quit, RetroArch, and that should save it, or saving it here, exiting here. So we say quit, We'll restart the system. Yes. And see if that does it. Looking forward to getting the Marvel countercade. We'll probably swap out the buttons and sticks. Um, I did a mod on the regular size, 3/4 scale size of the Marvel, and I think the Marvel is one of the nicest looking cabinets. That mod I did, I put a pie in there and all that, but I put in these jewel uh, translucent um, joysticks and the lit up buttons, and so it looked like those were lit up as well. That thing looked awesome. Here we go. Let's go to favorites. Let's go to Frogger, and let's see if it saved that configuration. Looks like it did. I can see my score, coin, start. I can see my frog, perfect. Back out. Thanks, guys. It's been a while. And so if I go to Joust, Joust should be fine. So you're saying save when exit also, so that's a setting I have to find. Excuse me. Yep, so Joust is fine. So they're both fine. So you have to make sure you save. So we're saying save on exits. Where would that be? Nope. Back up. Where would that be? The save on exit. Back. Settings. Saving. Saving. That look like that's just a save state. Auto save state. That's not what we're looking for. Back, quick menu, restart, save state. It's in settings. Configuration. Save configuration on quit. There you go. Thank you, sir. So back up. Save configuration on quit. So that should be in effect. Thanks, Moti. You got me on the right track. Just it's been a while. Like I said, just have to use those brain cells. All right, but yeah, so this is definitely worth doing. This is a no brainer to do if you have any of these 4 cabinets. Again, I like the low profile joystick or USB because if you have that long one, I think somebody's going to hit that and break it. So I definitely wouldn't recommend that. Especially this is a fighting game. People are going to be doing wild. They're going to be crazy. They're going to be doing all this movement. You don't want that long one sticking out. Once they get the artwork in here, I think it's going to be a whole lot better for sure. So once someone makes an image for these particular, for the say the horizontal or landscape version, that would be great. For sure. Mike Tyson, new game, Punch Out. Let's keep it clean. One of my favorite games. Now usually I don't put console games on, but this is an exception. as well as Tekken. Got to figure out which buttons. Come on. Oh, I got waxed. Get up, fool. Now this button's in a weird spot. It's like the block button, high button. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean the pie obviously is a better deal. I have that in my Galaga, but for most of the games, the greater percentage of the games are going to run on this fine. So there's no sense of putting in that expense and all that time and effort that it takes when you can just, if you already have the ROMs for either one, this is much simpler. And I think for most people, no need to do the pie. All that, it doesn't change anything with this setup. All of the buttons are working fine. I definitely wouldn't put a pie in here, especially with my brother. He's on the limited income. That would just be way too expensive to do. This is literally the cost of this USB drive, which could cost you $15, right? Even for a 256, if you want to put every game on there, you're talking about $20 max. We have these USB cables sitting around everywhere. This is a no-brainer to do. If you have these 4 cabinets, I wouldn't dream of doing anything other than that. Mike Tyson Punch Out, nice. That is definitely a pretty cool game. Yeah, you definitely want to do that. Yeah, this mod is great. Not having to any heavy lifting or modifications. Nice as you can just pull the USB and it boot back to default. Yeah, absolutely. Now I never pulled this out while it's running. Let's see what it does here. And this low profile one, it's not going to get pulled out accidentally either. You got to really get an effort. So I pulled it out. Let's see what it does. I'll start playing this game. Okay, fool. Get off me. It's still playing until it needs to read. But since it's already loaded, now if I hit the 2 buttons to exit out, then I'm probably going to have a problem. Since it's not plugged in, what is it going to do? I'll pull it out mid-game. It doesn't know what to do. So it has nowhere to load to. So I'll have to turn it off, turn it back on in order for it to get back to the main game. But just talking about this countercade, really nice build. They've since my 2 cabinets, I have Miss Pac-Man and Galaga. They now have the backlit marquee. Backlit marquee is standard now, so that is definitely cool. I hate that they have that plastic on so crazy that you have to take off all these parts. I still have a piece of plastic up here, which is I almost have to unscrew this to get that plastic out. I don't know why they don't just put the plastic over what you see and on top of the screws. So that is so bizarre that they do that. So yeah, this is the way to go. Low profile USB. I like this cabinet. You got the button layout. I would rather, if I was doing it myself, I would get the Marvel just because I like the way the 6 buttons are laid out that way as opposed to the Mortal Kombat. But again, I didn't buy this for myself. This is my brother's he already purchased it and it just happened to come when I got news of this mod. So that was just perfect timing for him because otherwise he wouldn't have these extra games. He would just have these 4 games to play. And I don't care how much you like Mortal Kombat or any of the stock games, you're gonna get tired of playing those. So to be able to play other games on here is super awesome. Even if you just find a couple out of 1,000 to play other than the stock games, it's a no brainer to do. If the modded versions of these stock games play well enough, it would make sense to just play the stock games in this system as opposed to swapping back and forth, especially if they're low profile uh, drive and it's not in danger of being damaged. I have a Galaga countercade. Where'd it go? I have a Galaga countercade. Glad they put a better screen. Yep. This is definitely better. You can watch this from the angles, and it's fine. My Galaga countercade, I have a screen to replace it, and I definitely plan to do that. Yeah, that screen protector is just ridiculous. To get the shipping wrapping off the screen, just unscrew the bezel partially. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to do that, uh, but you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, I definitely appreciate the screen being protected. I just think, I mean, I literally had to take off the control panel to get the bottom part. You have to do the bezel to get that top part. It's just it comes totally assembled, and then you have to kind of half assemble it, unassemble it to get that plastic off. It's really silly. Um, but the graphics look awesome. If this is your favorite game and you really want to play it, uh, these graphics look awesome on this kind of game. He's definitely going to enjoy that, but I think he's going to definitely enjoy being able to play these games. What I probably should do is I really would love to be able to secure this USB some type of way, and I guess he don't even really have to pull it out all the way. I think you can just pull it out without it coming all the way out. Let me try that. So I'm just gonna pull it out slightly like this, so it's not all the way in, but it's in no danger of coming out, and it should load up to the stock Mortal Kombat. I have this thing just pulled out slightly. And let's see which one it loads up to. Yep, the stock arcade one up. Can't really show you without unplugging it, but this thing is um, just barely pulled out, and so you can protect it so that you don't lose it. With the low profile, obviously you pull it out and sit it on the top, or you put it in your pocket or whatever. You can lose it, but you just pull it out slightly so it's not all the way in, and you'll boot to the stock. Then you just click it in, back in without having taken it out, and then you'll boot into that device. So definitely a better way. Hey, thanks, Arl Mad, for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Uh, Love your channel and content. Thanks for what you do for the community. Hey, thanks, guys. I haven't really been active a lot because I primarily, my channel has always been. I think I've been doing YouTube since 2006 or whatever it was, or it's a long time. I don't know where I can see it on here, but I think 2006 or 2009. I think it was 2006. But anyway, my channel has always been about whatever I'm doing. So on my channel, I built a what do you call it? A pondless waterfall. Show people how to do that, and that's one of my popular videos. Have a good day, James. Scott James, I appreciate you coming by. My daughter has a 2013 Chrysler 200, and just to change out the headlamp when it goes out is ridiculous. and I have a video showing people how to do that because clearly a lot of people would be looking for that, and that's one of the most popular videos on my channel. So I always make videos on anything that I do personally that I think other people may want to do as well, and they want to see a video on how to do it. So you're liable to see all kinds of things on my channel, but I really uh, love what I do and love sharing what I do and love helping people so that they can save time and even money to get things done. So I appreciate you because I don't have channels like other people that are just strictly dedicated to gaming or strictly get dedicated to news about gaming. My channel is about sharing how to do the things that I just happen to be doing. And I'm a techie guy, so I'm always doing things in tech. Uh, I record so many videos that I never ever post, unfortunately. Uh, but that's just the reality of it. Appreciate it, M&C. Uh, I love everything tech. So yeah, and you were saying may as well just have all the games loaded, but it's nice that it's a non-destructive mod. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and like I said, if you just pull out the stick just slightly so that you don't lose it, you go back to stock. And again, I am a fan of when people come over. I would never have this mod up here for someone coming over unless I went to a favorites and had certain games set in favorites, because it would be too much of a headache for them to try and maneuver it and get around it. So yeah, I would pull this thing out slightly and just let them play Mortal Kombat, and that would be it when the guests are here. Um, if it's one of my close friends that come out around often and they know that this has multiple games, I'll let them play it. But otherwise, even my modded pies, I have a uh, kid mode menu that restricts the ability to get to most of the games. Stick with a short list of games. That always makes more sense. But you want to have all the games to decide which games are going to make that list. See if I missed anything here. Uh, okay, I didn't see JPS man here. Hi from far away, French viewer. Use your image to mod my Street Fighter cap a few years ago. Works like a charm. Glad you're back. Hey, thanks. Yeah, that's the modding videos are never going to get the number of views because everybody don't want to mod, right? But the people who do want to mod really appreciate my videos. They're not always as vocal like JPS man in the comments or in it. They just get the information and run off and enjoy it. And I don't have a problem with that. They don't subscribe in large numbers because they got what they wanted and they don't come back a lot of times. But I appreciate the people that do subscribe, who do leave comments, and who do like the videos because it gets me up the rankings in YouTube. So definitely appreciate you. I'm glad I could help. Glad you can enjoy it. My two modified cabs today are the most played in my collection. And I don't have a collection per se. Clearly, is a collection of these cabinets, but I have the cabinets that I enjoy playing. And even though I can play multiple games on multiple devices, I do like to be able to just walk up to a cabinet and just play say golf, Golden Tee, and that type of thing. But I'd like to have some options to play some things that aren't available on these games, on these cabinet stock, and so that's great. Right, and I would imagine that's the case too because it's just retro arch and that type of thing. Um, but again, this is for my brother. Um, I don't really have to make an image, and that's the great thing. So if he calls me and says he jacked up something, it's easy to reset. I already have the ROMs on my computer, so unlike a Pi where they could just jack up everything, this is definitely a better solution, no doubt. See if I missed any other comments. Uh, D Love. Oh, okay. Must warn you, I'm one of the best in the world. Just beat a guy, 112 to 54. And this is referencing back to playing. He want to play the NBA Jam online. Yeah, I don't like playing online too much because there are people like Teddy, 80, that are great at these games because they have more time. They're dedicated. They got these games to play online because they are good. They obviously want to play more people with more talent because you sort of get bored of the UI, the AI, right? The AI is only going to be offer so much of a challenge. A human being, on the other hand, can do unpredictable things, right? And so it is good to be able to play against human beings. But me, I don't have the time to be that good at any of these games. I don't have that time to go online. So for me to go online and play against anybody that's online, I'm going to get my butt handed to me on no matter what game it is. So that's just the reality of it for me. I always say, especially like with the shooting games, it's like fishing in a bucket with a machine gun. I'm just gonna get slaughtered like that. Um, Scott James, I agree. I much prefer. Now, this is my Batocera. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Batocera. This is my first experience with it. I've never used it prior to this, and it looks pretty simple to get around and move around. So I have no problems with it. It's a familiar interface. Um, it's intuitive. So yeah, it looks like it was a good choice to make available on this thing. And I don't know. I haven't read up on it. I'm assuming it's made for maybe low power devices or devices that you don't have as much control over. That's going to be my assumption. Um, but if it's the perfect interface for this, um, I don't think it's going to be too big of a change for someone like my brother who has never used any of these interfaces. Excuse me, at all. So I don't think he's going to have any much of a challenge. The screen resolution for the vertical games, I almost didn't want to put the vertical games on it just for that reason. But I'll just ask him what are the games that he are going to play my primarily, and then I'll just make those changes for him. So if you're just joining in or you're viewing this video um, in a future date, I'm just this is just my first time seeing this Mortal Kombat 2 countercade. First time seeing a two-player control panel. I think they did an excellent job with this. Of course, you hate these screw holes. That's on every cabinet that they make, unfortunately. Um, but your hand position on this little board obviously is going to present some problems no matter what size hand you have. Something's going to overhang over, but you can play it. Um, I think the menu for the built-in system is great. That you have options to change difficulty. Uh, you got the backlit marquee. Uh, I think it's perfect. Um, my only complaint with it is that it's still operated by a plug. I think these countercades should all be battery operated. I have mods on my channel if you hadn't looked at those. And I did want to mention on my mods, I put hinges on these door. I put a handle or a handle to be able to hold this because otherwise you got to hold this thing with two hands and carry it. I put a handle on it. Now this particular box doesn't come with that little oval ring like the other boxes did. So you would have to get that from somewhere else or just don't have that plastic ring if you're going to put a handle. But the handle's not required, isn't necessary, and even the hinges isn't necessary because the batteries last so long. So you can just put the battery in there, maybe a little Velcro to keep it in place so it's not sliding about, and you can have the plug sticking out for recharging that battery that you use with your brick whenever you need to charge the battery. But there's no need to actually put a hinge because you don't go in there often. So even if you have to unscrew these 4 screws to check on the battery every few months, or again, like I said, if you have the cable sticking out the back and have it under this tape, then you can just use that to charge your device whenever you need it. And so you wouldn't even need to go in there once you unscrew the back to put the battery in. So that's definitely an option for anybody with a countercade that don't want to have any carpentry skills, don't want to cut something, don't want to change. You can put a battery in here. You just need that battery and the adapter, and I can make those links available in this video. But if you search for the countercade mods on my channel, you'll find those things that you need. You just simply need the battery, the the um, the splitter, or the adapter to plug from the battery to the power port here, and maybe a piece of Velcro to keep the battery secure. And then you just put a USB-C or micro USB, whatever it uses for that battery, and make it available to be pulled out and to charge up the battery whenever you need it to. So definitely recommend that. It's ported to a lot of devices. It's similar to RetroPie. It uses emulation station plus a standalone EMUS emulator, just an alternate in a different project. Yeah, and that's why I assumed. Yeah, it works. I always use emulation station on my pies, so it's very similar. So I felt right at home with this Batocera. All right, guys. Well, approaching an hour. I appreciate you guys that came by. I appreciate the sticker. I appreciate the comments, the kind words. I know my brother's going to appreciate this cabinet. He asked me to sell one of my cabinets. I told him I only have cabinets that I actually like to play, so I'm not interested in selling any of my cabinets. So he chose this cabinet off of Amazon, and I'm glad he did because he got to get these added games. I'm glad we had our show on Friday and talked about this. And thank you to Mystery Encoder and the whole mystery team. Uh, their website is team-encoder.com. They have quite a few different things, but the mystery countercade hack it only works on 4 machines, 4 countercades. You have to use the specific image for those cabinets, so you can't use the same file for all 4 cabinets. There's a specific install file for the Mortal Kombat, a specific install file for the NBA Jam countercade, a specific one for the Marvel Superheroes countercade, and finally a specific download and installation image for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle countercade. So if you have any of those 4 cabinets, definitely go take a look at P Dub's Arcade Loft, a video to install, as well as the Overthink Gaming, and take a look at those. It's really easy. It really just takes a few minutes to do. If you have these cabinets, highly recommend it. Do it today. Uh, get a low profile USB so that you don't have any danger of breaking that off in there. And when you don't want to use it, you can just pull it out slightly so you don't have to lose it and boot back to the stock image. So great job, guys. The team encoder, you guys did a super job with this. Keep up the good work. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the web. Peace.